Thank you. I try not to call it work though, because if I do that, my
Nice
male instinct
playtime.
kicks in and I feel like I have to do something other than this.
Horrible work. Wonderful play.
There we go. I can never do the triangle faces to save my life, so I got to go with what I know. Have you ever tried taking the skin off it like this?
No.
If you put a light in there after you've taken the skin off it, that's going to glow.
Still.
But a candle, you're not going to get enough light. What you want to do is cut a hole in the back and then hollow it out. Get it as thin as you can from the inside. Scrape the shell really thin.
Okay.
Sculpt it first though, because you're putting a lot of pressure on it. You're going to put your hands through it. If you get it thin before that, then take a high-powered flashlight or a lamp and push it forward so you're directing the light right where you want it to go.
Oh, and it'll light up the face.
Yep, and they look really, really cool when they're lit up. The bad thing is, you know, I do shows like this, and when I'm done, you know, I'm leaving these here. So I only see maybe 1 out of 300 or 400 that I do lit up.
Wow.
I haven't even done my own pumpkin in over 5 years.
Yeah,
I'm so
right,
busy.
Everybody else wants.
Yep.
So do you do like for sale, or
Pardon?
do you like do them for sale anywhere, or?
No, I don't sell them. People hire me to do demos, and then when I get done, they keep what I do.
I guess you could start by drawing a picture because I wouldn't have the eye to just come up with that.
You know what helps me though is I look for the shape, and the shape will tell me what to do. Like, you know, you look at something like this, and you see that stem on there, and I mean, you see a nose. You look at this thing, and you can already picture the eyes and the nose there.
So you would do the top of that.
Yep. Then I just start cutting.
Working away.
I'm just doodling with a knife, and the pumpkin tells me what to do. It talks to me, man. The pumpkin knows what it's going to be. I
And
don't
they're
have a
full
clue.
of detail.
But the main thing to remember in doing it this way is just make it up. If you're making it up, you're never doing it wrong.
Right.
If you're trying to make it look like something, you're forcing a design to happen. If you just start doing your own
And
thing,
make it look
then
to something.
the inner you is going to come out while you're doing it, and it'll be your own creation.
I mean, my kids would love something like this.
All I ask is that I'll give you all my tips, but don't get better at it than me, because I need this gig. It's all I got.
Right. Say, I doubt that. I'm not an artist.
Don't ever say never, just so you haven't done it yet.
Got up early this morning, blues took me by the hand. Got up early this morning, blues took me by the hand. He said, "Hello, Satan. I'm a lonely man."
Show you what I'm got going here so far.
I like how it still has some green.
I'm sorry, you like what?
I like how it still has green on its face.
Yeah, and you never know what you're going to get with one of these until you cut into it, too. I like to say there's a lot of really smart pumpkins out there that make me look like I'm a lot more talented than I actually am. I've had people look at these and they'll say, "Well, how'd you paint that?"
Really?
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Oh.
Not
And
just,
I think I read in the paper, do you end up cooking most of these?
yeah, I do.
That's pretty cool.
Kind of eliminated the whole starving artist thing.
No, it's like a little mandala of some sort that you get to eat when you're done.
Yep. Yep, so I don't mind eating my work or eating my mistakes. That's a good thing in what I do.
Could be, I don't know. I mean, do you make pies or what? What do you make with these kind of?
Well, no, I wouldn't make pies. You actually eat the whole sculpture when I do this. Would like say something like this, I would cut the top off it after I'm done sculpting it. Then you take the seeds out. I'll put it in a pan upside down in a little bit of water and cook it like you would any squash. I bake it about halfway, and then anything you'd put in a bread bowl. You can put inside here, put the top back on, put it back in the oven, let it finish cooking. So everything inside there kind of cooks in with the flavors of the squash.
Sure.
Take it out and you just scoop it out, you eat the whole thing.
And you end up eating part of the face, and you can still discern the face?
Well, I won't eat the face. When you're scooping it out, the face is on the outside, so the
Yeah.
face is still going to be there. And when you're baking it, it's gonna, it's gonna shrivel up a little bit, but it's still there.
You might want to turn your light on and film that while it cooks. I mean, or not.
But like even, that sounded painful.
Yeah, it was.
But like Thanksgiving, I take Hubbard squash and I carve turkeys out of them. And that way vegetarians love it because they've got a turkey on the table and they can eat it. I do spaghetti squash, and after I sculpt them, I'll fill them with sauce and meatballs and bake that and eat the whole thing. I do watermelons.
That's a lot to eat.
You can do watermelons and cantaloupes and things like that. I do a lot of those in the summer.
Cool.
I just make it up as I go along. I love to walk through farmers markets and just look for shapes that kind of talk to me, and I'm always coming up with something a little bit different.
Do you carve them out so they?
Pardon?
Do you carve them out so they glow? Or?
Well, you can. When I'm doing the display ones like this, I don't, because they'll last a lot longer. Because otherwise, you expose it to more air when you're doing it like that. But any one of these can be hollowed out. But I tell people, if you're going to do that, don't use a candle. You're not going to get enough light. Cut a hole in the back. Get a lamp or a flashlight and point it forward so you're directing the light where you want it.
Yeah.
And invariably, what I'll do is, I'll kind of tweak it, so I'll, find a room that has no windows or anything in it, and I'll go in, and that usually means it's the bathroom. So I know I get funny looks when I go in the bathroom and turn the lights off and lock the door with a pumpkin, but then I'll sit in there with the light in it with my knife, and I'll just make, I'll take something like this, and more light's going to come through here anyhow, but I'll go all the way through. Skip a part, go all the way through, skip a part, anything just to let more light come through in
It's
different
really hard in your
segments.
hands, though, isn't
Yeah, it is.
it? Yeah. I mean, these things are not.
I do between September and October, and it extends now into November. I do about 400 pumpkins.
And you sell them for what?
No, people hire me to do appearances like this, and then I let them keep whatever I carve while I'm there. But I do fruit and vegetables too, so I do it for about 10 months. Then I take 2 months off to let my hands heal. And as it is from doing this is my 13th year. I've got arthritis, I've got carpal tunnel, I've got it all. Not to mention nerve damage from stabbing myself, and it's part of the job.
Oh, it sure is a fun job.
It's well, those are the bad parts, but the good parts make up for it. I live in Glen Arbor, and I travel all over the state doing this. I'm doing 32 shows this month. I've already done 2 TV appearances. I'm doing a 3rd one next week and one after that.
Why would you want to leave Glen Arbor?
Food Network called me today, and they want me to be on the next segment of Halloween Wars, so we'll see what happens with that. But I get to travel all over. I meet people. It's fun. It's exhausting on the hands, but it's a riot.
Heard the blues this morning. Knocking on my door. Heard the blues this morning. Knocking on my door. Said, Mr. Blues, I paid my dues. Please don't knock no more. right.
Kids, adults, all ages, that's the fun part. In fact, the neat thing about it is, when I'm doing this, I'm just making it up. And every kid that's going to come here is going to see this as something different.
Yeah.
One kid's going to say, oh, look at the cat. The next kid's going to say it's a dinosaur. And I just say, you're right. It's whatever you want it to be. Because I'm just doodling with a knife. I have no idea what these things are. I just start with a pair of eyes and I just start cutting, and whatever happens, happens.
Start with the eyes.
But
And
I
the
always,
nose.
I start with the eyes, but
and then
then,
you put the nose in,
yeah, but the eyeballs go in last, though, because to me, it gets its soul when it has eyeballs.
Well, you don't want it looking at you while it's
That's
being
the
curved.
exact reason why. It'd be like a doctor doing surgery and the patient watching you.
Yeah.
But yeah, this isn't something you ever grow up thinking you're gonna do for a career. It just,
Yeah, that's funny.
my life just it was a
I
hobby.
should get that on tape. My daughter, she's a senior in college right now, and she just wants to know what she's gonna do for a career. I keep telling her, sometimes it just happens.
Yeah. I was doing this for fun. I was living in Oakland County, and I just stopped at a pumpkin farm to buy a pumpkin. And my girlfriend told the farmer, they were talking, I was doing something else, that I carved like this, and I'd never done it in public. And he asked me if I would be interested in coming there that weekend, and he had the corn maze and the hay rides and pumpkin patch, and said, well, you come here and carve and then try to sell them, and we'll see what happens. Well, the Oakland Press came to do a story on him, and they saw me, and they did the story on me instead. He didn't mind. He gets a lot of press, and Channel 4 in Detroit saw that, and they called me the next day, and so 2 days later I'm in their studio carving on TV, and after that it just grew and grew every year.
Do you have any art training?
The only training I have, I'm self-taught. I used to be really into drawing cartoons.
Okay.
And I think my
see
character, that taught me about making up things and, just kind of
Yeah.
doodling. And so my characters that I would do really come out in what I'm doing.
Right, because you have the expression there, the cartoon expressions.
Then about 6 years ago, I moved back to Glen Arbor, and I just decided, you know what, I'm tired of trying to work full-time and doing this on the side and only sleeping 2 hours a night, so this is my job. I do this full-time. I'm a musician too, but this time of year, this is what I do. And I do fruit and veggies too, so I keep it going for about 10 months of the year. Then I have to take a couple months off, and I rest my hands and kind of have to rejuvenate my mind, because it's fun, but it's exhausting being on the road all the time.
What kind of fruits and vegetables? Hard skin fruits?
Pardon?
And what kind of fruits do you do?
Well, like come summertime, I do a lot of watermelons, and I'll do a watermelon just like I do these, cantaloupes, honeydews, things like that. I'll also do all kinds of squash. I do rutabagas, parsnips, turnips. I've even carved radishes before, apples. One of the cool things I've been doing is I call my bad juju heads. I do these for music festivals in the summer. I carve these little heads. And I always say my rib and chicken bones. And you run a cord through it, and you tie a bone on the bottom so it doesn't slide off. And you hang this thing up, and I say that as it shrivels up, it's absorbing all the bad karma in the room. So when it's all shriveled and yucky, your karma has been cleansed, and you throw it in a compost pile and a new life grows. I figure it's compost, something's gonna grow anyway.
Well, yeah,
That's how you sell half-rotten fruit to old hippies. It works great. Thank you very much.
I'll look for you around the Glen
You,
Arbor area. Go up there
do
a
you have
lot.
home computers by any chance?
Yeah.
Let me give you one of my cards. I keep a page going on Facebook. And you don't have to be Facebookers to sign on. I've got it open so anyone can sign on to
Yes,
it.
I would definitely.
But the page is called Lord of the Gourd, and I put my schedules and pictures, everything I do on there. In fact, if you look at that fish is a zucchini.
Oh,
And then
okay.
the two ones on the left are
Oh, yeah,
butternut
yeah.
squash. You can see a car in the background I did out of a watermelon. I use pineapples for the tires. The driver is a turnip. The passengers were
Yeah.
rutabagas.
Oh.
I mean, not rutabagas, radishes,
Radishes,
sorry.
huh? That's neat. Fun.
You might be able to send between the food co-op, the Art Institute, and a few other things here if you were to come back.
Well, I'll definitely be in this area a lot. As I said, my girlfriend lives here. I was just on WZZM on their Take 5 and Company show the other day, so I'm starting to get a name for myself in the area. It's just kind of getting the word out there of what I do the rest of the year. Of course, everyone's crazy about pumpkins, but they don't. The art form I do with the food is just something that people don't know about yet. They're not aware of it.
Got up early this morning, saw the blues, walking like a man. Got up early this morning, saw the blues, walking like a man. Said, help me, Mr. Blues, something I don't understand. Everybody knows the blues got soul. Everybody knows blues got soul.
And I'm just going to give this one a little squirt of hairspray to help preserve it.
Use hairspray.
Yeah, because your hands have bacteria in them, and when you're peeling the skin off, it starts attacking it. The alcohol in here kills the hair or the bacteria, and then it puts a little coating on it to help keep the air off it. Plus, it gives it a shiny, healthy bounce.
That's really neat.
Thank you. Hi.
That's one neat.
You can come over and watch if you want to. Creepy in a good way or a bad way?
I don't know.
Oh, boys usually like creepy stuff.
Took my heart from the devil. Wore it on my sleeve. Just a heart from the devil. Word on my sleeve. Submit the devil. Please release me. No one understands you. When you're down and out, no one understands you. When you're down and out, everybody wants to be with you. Sitting down. One more time.
What's it gonna be? Well, you know, the fun thing about when I carve is I have no idea what it's gonna be. You ever just sit down with a pencil and paper and you just start doodling and you come up with something really cool, but you didn't know what you were gonna draw when you started? Oh, every kid does.
You know what? You're speaking to a very unartistic family with no artistic family.
Well,
He's like, you know what? They goes together.
art is subjective though. I mean, art might be cooking. Art might just be keeping a nice house or raising children. You know, there's art in everything. She isn't.
Nope.
Now, what do you
Her
think?
own little sister and 2 little brothers.
Well, what do you think something like this could be, though? Use your imagination, because that's how I do it.
Oh, you're gonna learn how to top face.
Yeah, but you see a stem like that? Doesn't it look like a nose? So these are his eyes. This is going to be his nose.
Maybe you could try something that you've never tried before.
That's why I look for all these odd shapes. I don't do the regular orange pumpkin. I like these because you look at it and you just use your imagination and you find a
This
face
cool
in it.
circle thingy on here.
Yep. In the last like 5 or 6 years, they call them heirloom pumpkins, and they've gotten a lot more popular in this country, and it's given me a whole new life to what I do.
Oh, and a lot of people probably get them for decoration.
But these things, you know, they have so much character to them. It's just kind of cool, carving in downtown Kalamazoo.
Yeah?
Yeah, I grew up in Allegan, and I live up north now, but I used to run around Kalamazoo when I was a teenager, and go to the old Douglas Drive-In, and Boogie Records down the road, and I tell you what made me feel real old. I went in the Henry Ford Museum, and they've got the neon sign from the Douglas Drive-In.
Oh,
in there.
dear.
And I'm like, you can't have things from when I was a teenager in a museum. That's just unacceptable for me. Wait till I'm gone about 50 years and then put it in there. And I was here last winter visiting my girlfriend, and you know, I saw how they decorated everything downtown here, and you know, the park across the street. And I just kind of fell in love with this area.
Oh.
Then in the summer, there's always some festival, or
Every weekend.
There's all kinds of art stuff going on around here. It's a really great community.
Come on. Use beans for eyes.
Yeah, sometimes I use cranberries. It just depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll just take a walk in the woods, and whatever I pick up is what I use. You know, find berries or stuff growing. I do watermelons in the summer. I'll use blueberries for eyeballs, or grapes, or I'll take walks in the woods with a shopping bag and just pick stuff up to decorate them with. Sometimes, like if you want to put hair on them, pine needles. You want to make it an alien, stick some cattails out the top.
This looks time consuming.
You know, it is, but it's good time consuming. A lot of people say to me when they see me doing this, they say, man, you must have a lot of patience. And I never look at it that way. I don't consider it tedious because, I mean, I'm having fun. If I wasn't here, I'd be home doing this right now anyhow. So it's something I enjoy. I'm just really lucky that I have a job that I can, this is my job. This is what I do.
heavy bag. Break it down.